So whoever taught you or told you that flat lay photography is easy, I'm sorry guys, but they were joking with you. They were completely joking with you. Flat lay photography is definitely not easy, not at all, but it does get easier. And in this video, I'm going to share step one or part one of my flat lay photography process, or my creative process really, which really goes into like how I started, how you can get started, and the research elements that you need to consider before you get started with the actual shooting of a flat lay photo shoot. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, cool. So, like before I kick off this video, please grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, grab snacks, grab chips, grab anything that's gonna make you feel comfortable, because I really want this conversation to just be super easy, very casual, nothing too like tutorial-y where you feel like you're sitting in a class and you're about to learn something. You definitely will, or at least I hope you will learn something, but I really just want to keep it casual. So please get comfortable, even if you're wearing like your lockdown, self-quarantine sweats and pajamas, please, by all means. Nobody here is going to judge you. So flat lay photography, man, when I actually even look back at my flat lay photography career, I mean, it's not a long career. I haven't been doing this for like a decade or eons as yet, but I have been doing it for some years now, so I do have a little like experience up my belt, and where it really all began. So I remember it was, because my cousin, he like had opened like a new clothing account and he got like free vouchers, so he was like, come on, let's go shopping. And it was me and his girlfriend, and we went and off we were, like having a blast shopping. And I remember wanting to obviously like share this on Instagram, but just not wanting to do it in a typical having my like showing the plastic bag of all the clothes I got, or like wearing all the clothes I got. I kind of like, I just remember just wanting to like share that through like a different perspective. And so like I remember just like randomly putting stuff on my bed, and then just like snapping it from above and then just uploading, no thought really. It was just like, okay, cool, snap and post and go. And like the more I like back then, the more I was like reading magazines and actually seeing like other flat lays like visually, the more I was like really intrigued by this camera perspective. It wasn't really common. I mean, it was all about selfies, it was all about like eye level, anything to do with like fashion or street photography was all like eye level, so you see the full outfit, and food images, like you'd see it from like a 45-degree angle. But like there was this different perspective of like a flat lay or bird's eye view where, man, I was like, okay, I want to know more about this. Like this is just an interesting perspective. It's definitely caught my eye and I just want to like understand it. So yeah, there I was just trying to like learn more, watch YouTube videos on how to take flat lays, and yeah, I guess like from there it was just me taking the time to really like understand what flat lay photography is, what does it entail, what are some of the basic rules about flat lay photography, and now here I am years later, but super confident in my flat lay photography skills and ability, and really wanted to just share the stuff I know and what I've learned over the few years that I've been doing this with other people, so that they also like don't make some of the mistakes that I made, or don't feel like stuck when they come across a particular thing with flat lay photography. Yeah, and I think for this video specifically, I wanted to chat about, I guess, like the before of a flat lay photo and my creative process of like researching and what goes into the flat lay photo before you actually take or compile or compose an actual flat lay photo. So the research element of it. Now, I'm really proud to have been able to work with like some brands and a couple like people and clients who really do like see value in my flat lay photography work, and like call on me and say, hey, can you please help me out with this content shoot, here are some products, please do like a Flatlay photography shoot for it. So like I'm really glad and blessed to have been able to acquire like brands and clients like that. But like one thing I definitely will always do, whether it's for a brand, whether it's for myself, for my own social media, every time I go into a Flatlay shoot, I always have like the image of the picture in mind already. I never go into a Flatlay photography shoot blindly, if that makes sense. Outside of being a Flatlay photographer, I'm also like a portrait photographer, so there's definitely like elements of portrait photography that I've utilized in Flatlay photography, from like the rule of thirds to like centering certain images, using grid lines to help me compose images, and even like before a portrait shoot, like you always like have some kind of mood board in order for you to prepare for what you kind of want to get out of the shoot. So you always like send the model like, here are a couple like pictures I have in mind, here's something I think you should maybe wear, this is the venue I have in mind, so on and so forth. And I think the same effort that goes into a fashion, a street, a portrait photography photo shoot, it also applies with a Flatlay shoot, right? Like beyond the props that you need, the actual products you need, the backgrounds and boards that you'll need to start off the Flatlay, like there's actual like effort that you need to put into it, and that's where the research element comes in. So yeah, I think definitely like have your image of what you want the photo to like look at the end of your little photo shoot. Like I know whenever I want to do like a lifestyle getting out of bed photo, and I want to do it Flatlay style, already I have the image in my head of like, okay cool, well obviously I'm not going to do this like in a grid like structure, because nobody wakes out of bed stiff like a robot, you know, like it's probably going to be very like casual, very almost like carefree. My bed probably will be like a little messy, it's not going to be like super clean and ironed. If I'm having breakfast in bed, yeah, maybe I might like do the shoot before I've eaten the food, so obviously you'll see it looks nice, or I might like actually eat like a few bites during the shoot and realize that I actually like the photo where I've eaten half my breakfast and that's the photo right there. So yeah, I think definitely like always have in mind what you want your end Flatlay to look like, but within that give yourself grace and creative freedom to be flexible, and to know that even though you'll have a specific picture in mind, you probably might just like wind up taking a few other routes to get to your final image, or you know, like something may go wrong during the photo shoot and you then have to like rethink or re-strategize how you take the photo. I think at the end of the day, just make sure that you're like super flexible and kind to yourself when you're doing a Flatlay photo shoot, because I'm telling you, it can get frustrating. It definitely can get frustrating for you to be taking like all these Flatlay photos and you're like, why doesn't it look that way that I thought it was going to look like in my head? Like everything is going wrong. Give yourself grace, especially if you're a beginner in Flatlay photography. Like give yourself some grace, give yourself some credit that hey, this is definitely a photography form that's not easy. And whenever you're attempting it, just like give yourself like a little grace and give yourself a little hug to be like, you're brave to do this and to tackle this on. I feel like this turned low-key into a young motivational chat as well. But research, let's go back to the research element. Now, once you also have that image in mind, I think it's really important for you, especially if you're like a beginner Flatlay photographer or a content creator who wants to like get into Flatlay photography, mood boards are really important to help you also like structure how your Flatlay shoot will go, right? So like remember what I said about like a portrait or a fashion photographer sending models mood boards of what the model should wear, what they should look like, the vibe of the shoot. The same thing also applies with Flatlay photography. I think it's really important for you as an individual who wants to get into Flatlay photography to also create your own like little Flatlay mood boards. And I think for me, like I would advise you do that according to a couple of like themes or structures, and I'll offer like advice on this because it's something that I've done. Create mood boards around like the layout, or yeah, like the layout of the actual flat lay. So I speak a lot about like the three main layouts that I always generally play around with. That's structured, that is unstructured, and then there's like in the moment. I've coined that. I don't know if actually somebody out there also has coined and said this, but it is my phrase. It's my phrase. So if anybody out there uses in the moment flat lay, I said it first, okay? But yeah, I think it's important for you to create those mood boards according to different like layouts, number one. Just because like you'll be able to visually see like what are the types or themes of flat lays that look best with certain layouts, right? Sometimes a lifestyle does look great if it's like in a structured format. Maybe you want to do like a on my desk textile flat lay photo shoot, and there like a structured layout would look well. But maybe if you're trying to do like a breakfast in bed scenario, then maybe like a structured grid-like layout might not make like the best sense. So I think, one, create your mood boards to see like, okay, what looks and what works well with a structured or a grid layout versus an unstructured, super casual, it's been thrown into the photo carelessly really, but still pops. And like those in the moment where people are using their hands or like body parts in the photo. So do that according to like the structure or the layout of the flat lay. Another way to also do this is to do it by color. We're visual beings, right? And like we're drawn to certain colors. So also like create mood boards of flat lays according to like different color themes. And you'll start realizing that, oh, okay, like reds or different shades of reds look really well if you're doing like a food photography flat lay, because you know red just looks so appetizing. Like you always want to eat like strawberries and cherries when they're like super red, if that's a acceptable example. So yeah, do it according to color, and then of course just do mood boards according to the theme, right? So I generally delve into themes for my flat lays that are in like the lifestyle, beauty, so that's like hair, makeup, skin, and like some food flat lays. So those are really like the spheres of flat lay photos that I tend to like dabble in. And so because of that, I'll have my own little mood boards where it's specifically on food, and that just helps me get like a better understanding, one, of like what styles of fruit would look, what styles of fruit, well actually yeah, like what styles of fruit would look good in a particular flat lay. Like maybe I should actually open up the fruit, like cut it open, that looks better for these reasons, versus leaving it closed for those reasons. But yeah, like definitely create mood boards that are just segmented according to the theme that you're like interested in and want to participate in or get yourself involved in. Wow, such like not technical, but it's such like big words for something that's supposed to be a casual conversation. Yeah, so I think definitely like those would be the three kinds of mood boards that I'd say get started on if you're like a beginner in flat lay photography. It's do it according to layout, do it according to color, and then do it according to theme. Another piece of advice that I would also give you if you're starting off with flat lay photography, and this is like your research part, this was something that I also even did like back in the day, was go onto Instagram and in the explore page, like literally type in hashtag flat lay, see all the flat lay photos that come up, and don't make a mental note because you might forget this, but like make a note of all the flat lay images that catch your eye, right? There will be some where you're like, this doesn't really interest me, but there will be at least one where you stop and you want to like go into the photo, maybe double tap or whatnot. But as soon as you find that image that makes you stop, ask yourself, why did it make you stop? Because this will tap into like starting to train your own eye for the things that you personally look out for in like other flat lays, and therefore you'll like start to try and implement those things into your own flat lays, just because it's what attracts your eye anyway. So like I know for me, whenever I go hashtag flat lay, I'm always so intrigued by people who have like a little bit of negative space in their lifestyle photos, just because I know like I'm pretty sure like in your everyday average life, your space is not 100% filled. There probably will be like some gaps, some spaces in a few places. And even more so, like when you have negative space, it allows you to focus in on like the product that you're really trying to show off in the Flatlay. So those are the reasons why I tend to stop at a negative space Flatlay. And so like for you, like it may be a completely different reason why you stop, but like question and ask yourself, like, what are the elements within this Flatlay that made you stop, and why do you like this Flatlay? Is it because of the colors that they used? Maybe it's the editing style. Maybe it's the fact that they like cut up fruit, or they have like placemats in the Flatlay that add this really nice texture to it. Whatever the reasons may be, like make notes of that. I think it's like a case of taking a minute to just like scroll through and scroll and see like what are the Flatlay photos that make you stop and go, wow, I like this photo because of 1, 2, 3. You'll start to see like those are like the patterns and the trends that just keep your eye interested and keep your eye like and you start to see like those are the things that really catch your eye, and in turn like you'll start to be able to like start training your own eye for things that maybe you can like look out for in your own Flatlays, or start incorporating your own Flatlays. And really, like I think at the end of the day, when it comes to like the before the Flatlay, the research element of it, definitely like take your time with it. It's not something that may come to you overnight. It's not something that, you know, you'll pick up like immediately. It does take some time. It does take a little bit of like effort on your part to try and curate these mood boards, or try and like figure out what style you particularly like. Sometimes you might like cleaner Flatlays where it's just really like clean, streamlined, like simple. Maybe you might like minimalistic Flatlays. You know, there's just like so much on Flatlay photography that really like it's one of those things, like it's like Flatlay photography is your oyster. It's there for you to have fun with and enjoy. But yeah, definitely like before you take your first Flatlay image, make sure that one, you have an idea of what it is you want to capture. Don't go into it blindly, because that's where frustration will begin, is not having an end goal, an end picture in mind, and you'll just end up with a camera roll full of pictures. Whereas if you had a particular image in mind, you'd be able to work towards that, while still giving yourself flexibility to just like switch it up every now and then, and create something magical, but still remaining focused to what you want to capture. So yeah, make sure you have like some kind of image in mind of what you want to capture. That's the point one. Point two, remember to create like your own little Flatlay mood boards. Easiest 3 ways to do that is by layout, by color, and by theme. As soon as you can create those mood boards, again, it becomes like easy for you to create your own little Flatlays and get to like the point, and to really like be focused in your Flatlay shoot, and not get so bogged down by not knowing what to do. Because when you've had those mood boards already, you'll know that, okay, cool, in this Flatlay it's going to be structured. I'm focusing on like tech things, and I really want the colors to be like black, white, super like monochromatic, neutral. Yeah, I think from there like it just helps you stay so focused. So yeah, again, just remember to create those mood boards, it will just make your Flatlay photography shoot so much easier to get through. And yeah, I guess like the last bit will be going through hashtag Flatlay on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, or even like Google, and just looking at like what are the kinds of Flatlays that like stand out for you. This is just gonna help you to like train your eye so that you also pick up things naturally. You'll start being able to create your own Flatlays just because you know how much you love to add negative space, or to always have this one particular object in every Flatlay. Yeah, I think as soon as you can start doing those 3 things within the element of like research and the before the actual Flatlay shoot, man, you'll be on your way to starting your own Flatlay photos and getting into them, which I hope to cover in the next video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up. Comment below if this was something that was super helpful for you. I definitely will come back with a part 2 where we talk about like what happens during the actual photo shoot of a Flatlay photo shoot. Yeah. And yeah, of course, subscribe if you want to. You definitely don't have to, but it is free, so you might as well. Just saying. And I guess I will see you guys on my next video. Love, light, and sending lots of love to everybody out there. Continue to stay safe, and remember, Black Lives Matter. Bye. And yeah, I think, of course. Okay, so we have recording 1 going using this MacGyver because my Canon just doesn't have a microphone jack. I think, like, you know, we're visual beings, so naturally we're always drawing. So for catching and yeah, catching, is that really the right? No. Take 3. Gosh, can't fool. Batteries are dying. I'm just like, this is honestly. Okay, cool. Take 3. Canon 4000D. I've got like a few minutes left on it. Canon SX740HS. Yo, it's another long name. Okay, rolling. 3, 2, 1. Always gotta clap because syncing the sound and the audios of everything that's happening here.